What's going on, guys? Matt Weedo with Matt W Fishing. I'm back in a lot of ways. Give you guys some context. Back in May, had a little issue with the boat. I'm not going to really say what it is. If you know, you know. If you don't, that's fine. Whoa, freaking wasp. Anyways, had a little deal going on with the boat. Got it taken care of. Took basically all summer. It happened mid-May, and we're about mid-September, so June, July, August, September. It's taken me 4 months to get everything totally back together. I had different plans. I was going to sell the boat and do this and do that, but I basically settled on keeping it. And hell yeah. Basically decided on keeping it, and I'm kind of glad I did. I mean, boat's fine now. Everything's 100%. Kind of went through some stuff. Didn't do a whole lot. Ended up replacing the sea deck on the floor. I can go walk through the boat later. Basically got new power pole brackets. Everything else pretty much on the boat is about the same. I was having. So the one thing that kept me from really getting a new boat, dude, this wasp is freaking, get out, was my truck. My truck had, my black truck had it was a 17, and I put on average, this wasp or hornet, whatever it is, keeps circling me. It had 237,000 miles, so since 2017, February when I got it, I put on an average of like 30 to 35,000 miles a year. And that's towing the boat, going to the lake, back and forth from Miami, traveling to tournaments, just everything. Especially the last 2 or 3 years, working on a yacht in Fort Lauderdale, driving back and forth an hour every day. And then driving, this last year, I've been driving back and forth from Port St. Lucie to the lake and headwaters every day. So it racks up a lot of miles really quick, even if you're not traveling. So that truck I still kind of got a lot of life out of it, but it was just time. It's one of them things. So I ended up getting a newer Chevy truck, a 3.0 diesel. So far, so good. Tows this boat amazing. Get insane gas mileage. I don't work for Chevy or nothing like that. They don't sponsor me, but so it's a really good truck. I've always been a GM guy. Almost got an F250, but decided to kind of go back to the Chevy route. Wanted to get something newer with some warranty on it, so if I had any issues, it wouldn't, hit me bad in the pocketbook, versus a 250, 2500 diesel. If something breaks, it's going to cost you a lot. So I got warranty for the next 70,000 miles on that truck, because I bought it with a couple miles on it. About a year used, but it's GM certified, blah blah blah. But anyways, we are back on Okeechobee. I ran a guide trip not long ago, about like a month ago. Kind of stayed in the Rim Canal. I just wanted to make sure that people caught some fish. They did, but didn't really venture out to the lake. Lake is almost to 13 foot. I think it's like 1295 right now. I think it's September 14th, and it's looking good. Like I haven't made it but a couple miles from the north end, from Scott Driver, and there's wiregrass like everywhere. And for those of you that might be new to the lake or don't know the lake very well, for those of you that have been fishing this lake for over 10 years or over 8 years, 'cause I've been fishing the lake for about 10 or 11 years. Listen, hydrilla is amazing. Eelgrass is amazing. Coontail, milfoil, they really don't get on it. Really doesn't grow here. Reeds and cattail, all that's good stuff. But this is prime. I mean, better than an arrowhead, better than anything. This is prime spawning habitat, and just how vast now. I mean, it's not like there's not a giant, massive field of it that I've seen so far. I've only been out here about an hour and a half. But from what I'm seeing here, I mean, the opportunities for these fish to spawn this year, if they keep the water like below 14, I think it's gonna be one of the years to the lake. Okeechobee is one of those lakes where it benefits greatly. I'm keeping an eye on this wasp. I don't trust it whatsoever. it's one of those lakes that benefits greatly from a drawdown, or when they bring the water down, because it just lets that sun hit that bottom, lets it, I don't know if what the proper word is, but lets it germinate the bottom or whatever, but it just lets stuff grow. And I mean, I'm seeing, this used to be barren, nothing, but back in May, this was nothing. It wasn't, there were hardly any cattails, definitely wasn't any hay, we call it wiregrass, wasn't any wiregrass, definitely wasn't these areas. I mean, it was barren. Behind me was a big spawning flat way in the back, and there's not enough water to get to it. We're barely floating in here. But it is just, the lake is looking really good. And you know, as I move around throughout the day, I'll kind of re-chime in and kind of give you guys some reports of what I'm seeing. But so far, so good. I'm pre-fishing for, there's an ABA next weekend, a 2-day tournament, which I actually have free entries paid for because I won the points last year, so I'm fortunate to have that. But as you guys know, ABA is kind of going through a lot of stuff. Don't even know there's going to be one next year. So I'm debating either fishing that, which is a free entry, it's hard to beat that, or fish the Refuse to Sink tournament, which is a great tournament. It's a benefit tournament. And I see some birds diving out there. Unbelievable. Oh no, they're just perched up on that stick. All right, never mind. I thought I was missing something. It's a great tournament. I fished it a couple times. Great cause, but I mean, free entry's a free entry. So we're gonna fish around, kind of see what's going on. Yeah, throwing the old faithful black and blue swim jig right now. Got one bait that I'm trying out today. I don't know if it's gonna come into play just because the lake's fishing really tough from what I've seen. It did take 24 pounds to win yesterday, so that's a good uptick in weight from what it's been taken. But contacted my buddy Brandon from NLBN. See the hat. And I think I'm planning on going to the St. John's River in a couple weeks. Again, there's another tournament conflict. Stupid. St. John's River BFL is right on top of the Lake and Trail tournament. The only real, so the thing about Lake and Trail, it's a great tournament and it pays out amazing. Pays out 10 grand. Obviously you got to split that with your partner, so it's about 5 grand split per person. We're like 5th in points, so we're like close, but the guys leading have 2 first place finishes and like a 16th, which is really good. And in order to win in the points, you have to have the best 3 out of 4 tournaments. It's not all 4 tournaments, which I'm not a fan of. Honestly, Jim, if you're watching, make it all 4 tournaments. Make the guys fish every tournament to win the points. Simple. Anyways, that's just my opinion. I don't know, like math, like they would have to bomb, and there's worst finish would still be like 16th, and we would basically have to like top 3 or win the tournament to have any shot. Which I'm not counting against myself or Nick, but I don't know. And St. John's River fishes very well this time of year. I could literally go fish there with no practice tomorrow and feel like I could do well just because I have something figured out over there. And this time of year, the mullets start moving around, and this is, I mean, that don't look like a mullet. I don't know what does. This color's called Chrome Avenue. It's actually, I grew up about 20 minutes from Chrome Avenue, so that was a cool name to call it, but I think it's very universal, good, just color, imitate shad, mullet, everything. But anyways, we're gonna get rolling here because I got bass to catch. I haven't caught one yet. Lake definitely seems like it's fishing pretty tough, but we're gonna figure something out today. I'm confident. All right. Y'all get them?
Yeah. 10.5 footers.
10.5?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What, are you good?
No, I haven't had a bite today. It's fucking terrible. All right, guys. So at this point in the day, I've pretty much caught a whole lot of nothing. I hit that one stretch at Reed's. I lost two good bites. One was a really good one, and one was a decent one. And I set up on this on this I want to say outside reed line. The lake's at about 13 even at this point, or high 12s, and this is about 1.5 feet of water, not even. So it may look like it's pretty offshore, but it was actually fairly shallow. Catch that little one on a worm, and it seems like in September they get on these scattered reeds pretty decent. Not as good as they do when they're spawning, but I am hoping for the random chance that I do run across a spawner. But I just know the chances of it this time of year are really low. Pull up this little bush out here in the middle. Catch a rat. The video actually cuts out after this. I don't know if it overheated or I forgot to replay it. Actually ended up catching two more out of that bush, or end up having them have one hit it when I'm reeling the bait out. I have another one to eat it, and I think I hung it in the tree, so I had two more bites out of it. Right there. I go to reel my bait in. There he is. And he comes off like a 2-pounder. That was like the fourth occurrence in the day I had of one trying to eat the bait as I'm reeling it back to the boat. So
And yes, I have tried a swim jig at this point. I'm like, let me try something that moves through the water, isn't incredibly flashy. And I tied on this, this Nichols JT Kenny. It's kind of, I think it's called a tidal water special, or it's just like a June bug spinnerbait pretty much with painted black blades. And I put half a 10-inch plum worm on the back just to give it, a uniform appearance. And I'm sure you guys can guess, I didn't catch a single freaking thing on that spinnerbait. I didn't think it was going to work either, but I'm like, you know what? They're chasing stuff. They want something dark, black and bluish moving through the water. So I just get out here afterwards, try some isolated cover, just, towards the middle of the lake, or towards the middle of the area that I'm fishing, some deeper water, thinking maybe I can run across, like, see if there's like a random big one you can catch doing this, and pretty much don't get bit doing this at all. I run over to one of the major banks of the lake. When I say major bank, I'm talking from pretty much from the river to Harney Pond, or Harney Pond to Clewiston, like just one of the major straight, like, in theory it's a straight bank, but that was pretty much my whole day. It sucked. I caught like 4 fish, nothing over 2 pounds, and actually fishing them at the launch by Scott Driver, and pretty much called it a day at this point. But I appreciate you guys watching the video. That was my first day back out on the lake since May in my own boat. I think I'd been out 1 or 2 times, fish a tournament here and there with Nick, but first time back fishing the lake, trying to get ready for that 2-day ABA, and that video, that practice video for that tournament will be coming out soon. I'm going to try and get back in the swing of things YouTube-wise, but I appreciate you guys watching, and thanks for tagging along again. All right, see ya.